Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to another video. This is very different from what I usually upload. I will be ranking Korean dramas. This is from a website where you can create your own S-tier list. I've seen a lot of people recently ranking a lot of different stuff, so that gave me the idea. These are all of the shows that I watched since a year ago. I kind of do have a problem. And if you're not aware, most K-dramas have 16 episodes, which doesn't sound a lot until you hear that all of them are 1 hour long or over an hour long per episode. So yeah, might as well use my knowledge to something. So yeah, I apologize for this very niche video, but I enjoy it, so I will be ranking it. This right here is called My Demon. It recently came out. It's a love or hate drama. I've seen so many people either absolutely loving it or absolutely hating the last episodes. I actually enjoyed the whole show to the end. I was completely all over. I binged that shit. And I managed to catch up to the 14th episode, I think, within a few days. And I had to keep waiting for the last episodes. That was pretty annoying. The concept is really interesting as well compared to other K-dramas, because he's like a demon, but she somehow becomes important to him. It's so hard to not spoil anything. I just love the concept. It was so intriguing the whole time. Yeah, also, I also loved their chemistry in the show. I thought they went so well together. Okay, this people might not agree with me, but this is called Record of Youth. I haven't seen many people talk about it. This K-drama is about a model who then ends up getting a makeup artist who is the female lead, and I kind of forgot about the third guy. I will be putting it in F tier. I'm going to be honest, this show was better than the K-dramas that I dropped within a few episodes. There is one step below F, and those are the ones that I just drop immediately. But out of all the K-dramas I've seen, this one was the most boring one. I also didn't really like the acting that much. There wasn't too much going on because I still kind of wanted to know what was happening, but I didn't really enjoy it that much. So I'm sorry for people who love that show. It was definitely not something for me. This is Crash Landing on You. It's about a South Korean woman who ends up in North Korea, and the soldier had the opportunity to turn her in, but he knew that if it did so, she would most likely die. The concept is so good. It's just an S tier. Yeah, I'm just gonna make it first. That is my all-time favorite K-drama, and I have recommended it to people who don't even watch K-drama because it's just that good. The chemistry is insane between those two people, and they also ended up getting married in real life, so the chemistry is real. What can I say? You can't beat that. Without spoiling too much, I would highly recommend it. It's my all-time favorite. It has to be an S tier. So now this one is a bit interesting because this is called King the Land. It's about a hotel owner, kind of. It's his dad owning a hotel, and she works for the hotel. I actually really enjoyed this one. They had so many cliche stuff happening that I kind of think it's on purpose. It's either like purposely bad or it's just bad. I think it's so bad that it's good for those moments, and I'm still like really enjoying it. It is on C. I will say that Kingdom Land is a close B tier. I'm putting it on C to be safe. Okay, so this one is called Daily Dose of Sunshine. It is very hard to rank this one because I was highly invested in this show. I finished it really quickly. I would say it's on B tier. I was not the biggest fan of the romance in this show. It was still good, but I've seen a lot better. I absolutely loved their take on mental health, and how they were portraying it. And it all takes place in a mental hospital, and it was executed so well. It's a very good watch. However, I would not have put it in S or A tier, but it's still one of the best ones I've seen. Okay, this might be a hot take. I've seen a lot of people love Backstreet Rookie. It's not an S tier for me personally, or an A. I'm putting it at B mainly because I really liked the female lead. I liked her just beating up people and stuff like that. I have seen a lot better K-dramas before, and I think that I was more interested in Daily Dose of Sunshine, for example, but I still believe that it belongs in B tier. Alright, this show is called Abyss, and I absolutely love the story. It's about a man who kills himself because of constantly being judged for his looks. He then comes back to life in the way his soul looks like, which is meant to be like extremely handsome and stuff like that. And he gets this abyss that can bring people back to life. I would put it at A tier. I was extremely invested in that K-drama. It's honestly one of the best ones I've seen. I just couldn't stop watching it. I knew her, I've known her name for a while now, but I kind of forget it now that I'm recording. The female lead in Abyss is one of my all-time favorite female leads. You know what? No, it's an S tier, no. Because she carried that show. She absolutely carried it. She's one of my favorite actresses. It's an S tier because of the actress, I'm just saying. It just got upgraded. I don't care. I upgraded myself right now. It's an S tier just because of her. Here is a old show that I got recommended. It's called Boys Over Flowers, and I'm currently watching it. I'm on episode 17, and it has 25 episodes. That is weird. That's the first K-drama I've seen with that many episodes. Since I'm not done with it yet, I would put it C, because there's so many things that I don't like about that show, but it still makes me want to watch it anyway. They basically don't really handle the plots that well, but I still really love most of the plots. I really like how they execute most of the things, even though I haven't finished it. It's definitely not below C. If I really like the ending, it will have an instant upgrade to B tier. So this one is definitely between C and B at the moment, but I would only upgrade it if it has a good ending, because I hate K-dramas that have a very good story and just a shit ending. Absolutely hates it. Okay, this is gonna be a very hot take as well. This is the chicken nugget one. This was very recent. It was more recent than My Demon. No, I'm not gonna put it S tier. I'm not crazy. It was an absolute shit show. I'm so sorry for people who liked Record of Youth, but I actually found Chicken Nugget so bad that it was good. Not really, it wasn't really good. I actually didn't like almost anything about that show, but I kept watching it because it was so bad. It was kind of entertaining to see how bad it was going to continue to be. I would never recommend that to anyone. I would never rewatch it, but at least it was a kind of fun experience seeing a person getting turned into a chicken nugget. I hope that K-dramas in the future won't be as weird as that, or as bad. I kept watching it because it was so bad, and I wanted to just know how it ended, to be honest. I also liked the female lead, but she isn't in it much because she's a chicken nugget. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend that one. And I apologize for the Record of Youth fans. So far I haven't gone to any A tier ones. They will come though. This is called The Doom at Your Service. It also has my favorite female lead. So S tier. And it's not just because of the female lead in this case. It is because of the story. And they also have such a beautiful scene, which I can't really explain now because I think that would ruin kind of magic for anyone who wants to watch it. I just absolutely love it. Alright, this is gonna be a hot take for some people. Hometown Cha-Cha-Cha. It's about a dentist who somehow ends up in a small town, and she decides to move there and start her own business in a small town. She also ends up meeting someone there. It's on C tier, and the reason for that is because I believe they could have had some better plots. They could have made it better. I still enjoyed it though. I think it's a very it's a kind of a cozy show, but it's not really something that really hooked me, but I still quite liked it. So yeah, it's definitely for people who like more calmer or cozy K-dramas, but I prefer when they have better story or more dynamics. Now, Love in the Moonlight. It is really between D and C tier. This is one of the more difficult ones because I did enjoy it. So many things I would personally change about it. It is also very sweet though, how they got together. I will put it there. I thought it was kind of slow sometimes. Sometimes they had very long, boring moments in the show. I still enjoyed the story and everything. It was still a very good drama. It's definitely good, but I would have to place it on D because there are just too many things that I would personally change or would want to happen. This is called I'm Not a Robot. This K-drama I would actually put I would actually put this on B tier because I really, really liked I'm Not a Robot, because the story is very unique and it's about a guy who thinks that a female lead is a robot. It actually has some emotional scenes as well, but it's also very funny. I definitely put it with Backstreet Rookie and Daily Dose of Sunshine. I think that is fair rating. Okay, now this is another S tier one, just immediately. It's called It's Okay to Not Be Okay. It has a lot to do with mental health and a guy who also has an autistic brother. I love the character so much, and I love the female lead with the male lead's brother and them fighting in like some scenes. Not only do I think it is a funny show, love the story. It's about a children's book author that writes pretty grotesque and dark children's book, but she becomes famous for it. That's all that I can say so far. It takes place a lot of times in a mental hospital as well. I love it so much. So on A tier we have Weightlifting Fairy, Kim Bok-joo, and it was very close to being on B, but it's a very fun, light-hearted show and it was very good. I wouldn't say it's an S tier by any means. It's just a fun show to watch. It's something I didn't expect that I would care a lot about, but I really like the characters and how they executed the show. So yeah, it's on A tier list, but it is close to B. This is called Still 17. It's about a 17-year-old girl who ends up in a coma and she still believes that she is 17, hence the name. The thing is, there's something in the show. She is a violinist. She plays the violin. I absolutely adore the violin. So that is why it's a bit tricky, because if she didn't play the violin, it would have been an 8-tier K-drama. But I was so invested and I thought the whole violin and the whole music theme of the whole show, I really loved what they did with that. There are some things that I wanted to change with the show. I was still binge watching this show, by the way, but this time I'm not gonna be biased about the violin. I'm gonna put it in 8 tier because I absolutely adore the show. And another reason I'm putting it in 8 tier is because I felt really bad for the other male character that really liked her, because he had such good energy. I just preferred the main couple more, but I still felt so bad for him. And I didn't like that the show did that to me. Like, fuck you, making me feel bad for him now. 8 tier. Okay, so this one is called Something in the Rain. It is about the female character being older than the male character, not by too many years, but still a very big age gap. And they knew each other when they were kids, but after some time they ended up meeting up and falling in love. And doesn't have much of a big plot. It was a very cozy K-drama, and it's just a very, if you love just romantic K-dramas, it's very good. However, this was also the first K-drama I've ever skipped through the long pauses. Actually, Love in the Moonlight was the first one I did that to, but I didn't do it as much. Something in the Rain had so many long scenes where at some point I was just like, no, I refused to watch her stand around like that. So I was just skipping through all of those like long pauses just to get on with the story. I do believe that this K-drama, if it didn't have those long pauses and if they had something else besides the age gap, I actually believe it would be 8 tier if they changed all those things. I really loved how they were together. I wasn't a big fan of how he was acting near the end, but I still watched through it. It was an amazing show. There's so many things they could change with that, and I think it's a fair C, but it could have been an A. That's what I feel about that show. Memories of Alhambra. This is a show about a guy who invents, well, the first very realistic VR game. It's a pretty messed up story, but it's very interesting. It takes a really dark turn at some point. I absolutely loved the story. I love it when K-dramas have a good romance. I do not only base K-dramas on the romance, I will have to say that, but would get a downgrade because of that. Because I felt like they could have done so much more with the male and the female lead character. They didn't really have as much chemistry as the other shows. And they didn't focus on that much either. It was a very, very good story, and I absolutely loved it. I was on the edge of my seat the whole time because it was such an intense, interesting story. It would have been an A tier if they fixed the romance. Probably even an S tier, I'm gonna be honest, because it was a really good show. But I'm gonna downgrade it to B tier, purely because of the love interest. They have it more in the end, but then it kind of feels a bit too late, you know? I believe they could have done so much more with that. Okay, finally, we have something for A tier again. It is Business Proposal. Also one of my favorite actresses. This is a show you just watch if you want to watch something fun. It's probably one of the first like really funny K-dramas that I watched, and even though there are things that I would personally change about it, it's definitely one of the best ones that I've seen, especially if you are someone who absolutely loves romantic comedies. Business Proposal is just the perfect one, I would say. Even though I was really invested into it, I don't think that it deserves an S tier because it wasn't a god tier show, but it was still pretty close to it. I also watched, it's one of the first shows I watched with my favorite actress, so if I rewatched it now, I probably would be even more obsessed with the show, gonna be honest. What is this? Oh yeah, this show is called 39. It's about a trio of women who are turning 39 or are 39. Even though I am 23, I'm not old as the characters. I really enjoyed it a lot. I believe they could have made it more interesting. They could have made the show better, but I believe it should be in B tier. It's also one of my favorite female actresses in that one. Even though it could be better, it was still like really good and interesting, and it's also very sad as well, so it definitely deserves to be in B tier. I can definitely see why people think I have a problem now that I watched all of this within a year, because at first it didn't sound like too many, but now when I'm just ranking all of them, I have been talking about this 38 minutes and I still have stuff to talk about, so it's a long video, guys. I'm sorry about that. Okay, this is gonna be a hot take. This K-drama is called My First Love. It was one of the first K-dramas that I watched, so I appreciate it for being the first one. However, I got so pissed off at the second lead. Like near the end, I was starting to get really pissed off because during the show, they actually made me prefer the second lead, which might also be a hot take. I'm not sure if people don't like the second lead as much as I did, but I felt so bad for the second lead, and I was pretty disappointed with how they ended things and how the show ended, and I absolutely hate when things don't go my way. If it wasn't for the whole second lead kind of thing, it would probably be at C tier because I did still enjoy it, but it is between E and D. I'm gonna put it at E tier because I just didn't like how it ended, and it could have been better, I think. It has stuff to improve, and I was just upset about the second lead. They did him so dirty. I was so upset for him. So they did so with the chicken nugget tier. I'm sorry for people who like it, but no, chicken nugget tier. This one was called Strongest Delivery Man. It was good, but it could have been better. They had a lot of things they could improve with it. It could have been more interesting. Put it at D tier. It was good, but it wasn't something that I was binging or that I kept wanting to watch. So it's a strong D for that one. This one is called Once Upon a Small Time. This will be a hot take, I believe. I'm going to put it at E tier, and it's not because I didn't like the ending or a character. It's because I wasn't really that invested in it until the end. Also, they had only 12 episodes. I was on the 11th episode, and I was like, I'm starting to get into this K-drama actually. They might turn it around in the end. And then it just stopped. And I was like, what? It just ended there? So after they actually made me care a lot about the characters, the show ended. It is still kind of a fun watch. It doesn't belong in F tier whatsoever. If I could put it between E and D, I probably would, because I still watched through it. I just didn't care about it that much. And since I didn't care about it enough, I think that E tier is an appropriate option for that one. Okay, this is going to be a hot take. This is called Our Beloved Summer. A lot of people love this show. I've seen a lot of people get very angry about other people's opinions on it. Please sit down for this if you love the show. It's a D tier. I honestly didn't find it that interesting. I still watched it. I think it was nice. It was kind of it's definitely a cozy K-drama, and I can understand why people like it, but I felt like nothing too interesting was happening. It's just about two people knowing each other and didn't like each other when they were kids, but then when they met somehow, when they're older, they fell in love. It could have been better. I kind of like the concept, but I think the characters could have been better. It could have been better executed as well. I prefer when K-dramas have something that I'm actually very invested in and keep wanting to keep watching. But it's still a decent show. I understand why people like it. It's simple. It's just watching two regular people. If you're into more regular stuff, more everyday type of K-drama, I guess that's a good one for you. This is gonna be a hot take for another reason, and I think my opinion on this, I think are valid. No way, that doesn't make sense. I want to start with the first one. The next one, Strong Woman Do Bong-soo. It's on S tier. My favorite actress, and a perfect execution throughout the whole show. It's like one of the most perfect K-dramas I've seen. It's about a woman who's supernaturally strong, and she's so phenomenal. The acting is top tier. Everything is top tier. The chemistry, top tier. Everything is amazing about that show. It's funny. It has good action. The story is interesting. They have a separate crime. There's some crimes happening as well. So it's one of my all-time favorites. I'm gonna put it next to Crash Landing. It deserves to be next to Crash Landing. It's amazing. I will say that in Strong Woman Do Bong-soo, there is one character I sometimes get annoyed at and I do not like because he's a bit over the top. But if a show can make me see past, it's like, he's annoying, but this show is too good, I'm gonna keep watching it, and I have no regrets. It's the best thing ever. Now, it makes more sense to do this one now. Strong Girl Namsoon, I think it's called. It's a K-drama which is based off Strong Woman Do Bong-soo. However, it's about her cousin instead. You don't see the characters from Do Bong-soo except for once. You see the couple once, and that made me mad because I was looking at IMDb and it made it seem as if she was in 4 episodes. So I was just mainly watching through the show because I kind of wanted to see Bong-soo again, but she never appeared again. So that was quite disappointing. I will not put it F. There are so many bad things. I know a lot of people hated that show. I will putting it at E tier, which a lot of people would agree with. A part of me wants to put it at D tier. Because of the story itself, I loved the villain in the show. The villain in the show was such good character. They did him so dirty in that show. I absolutely hated it. There were so many things they could do better in that show. The chemistry between the couples weren't good. There were so many things I did not like watching that. Because of the villain, the story, it was a whole like drug-related crime they were trying to solve throughout the story. Amazing. I love that story. And I also love Strong Woman Do Bong-soo. So I love the fact that there's like this strong girl goes things her own way. I love the concept. The concept could have been so good. If they had done everything differently, it would just be an S tier again, because I love that. Maybe A. So the reason that it is on the E tier, despite the good story, is because they just changed the female character. She had, spoiler alert, she had long hair, a specific style because she was raised in Mongolian. She was proud of her being a Mongolian. But then in the end, she just changed. And that pissed me off so much because throughout the whole show, they were talking about how unique she is. And she just becomes basic by the end. She just becomes a different person. And that just ruins the whole build-up of her character. So yeah, it's an E tier because of the poor execution, the no chemistry between anything. The reason it's not an F tier is because the story itself was interesting, just everything else was bad. But the story and villain, it was good. So it deserves an E tier, and I would really want someone to recreate the whole storyline, just make it good. This one is called Extraordinary Attorney Woo, I think. It has amazing story. Like, I was interested in everything. I was interested in all the crimes and how they were gonna solve it. I also love how people looked down on her, but she kept on like coming back stronger, and she's just like, I don't care, bitch, I'm the best. She's not like that, but I just love every time she showed people that they were wrong. It is very close to being B tier. However, I can't deny that I was super invested in it. The acting was great. I loved all the crimes and stuff and learn more. I was just so invested that I'm not gonna lie. If I didn't put it at A, I would be lying about how much I watched that show. So the last one we have Clean with Passion for Now. This K-drama is interesting. It's about a guy who is a extreme germaphobe but also has like OCD, and he slowly gets better after knowing this girl. She gets a job as a cleaner and yada yada. It's a funny show. It's not an S tier or an A tier. I'm gonna put it fairly at C tier because I thought it was really funny. It had really funny scenes. I actually did enjoy watching it. And I watched it fairly quickly as well because I just kept wanting to watch more. There were things I wanted to change about it, but I believe that it's definitely between C and B. I believe that Clean with Passion from now is on the same level as King the Land. They're like both between C and B, but I would fairly put it at C. That was almost a full hour of ranting about K-dramas. I believe that my list is pretty fair. Except for this one, people might not be happy about my F tier one. I believe it's an accurate list. I do believe I have some hot takes around the lower ranks. Those weren't just for me. So yeah, that was it. That was a whole hour of me ranting about K-dramas. Let me know in the comments down below if you watched any of these and what you thought about the rankings. I love talking about K-dramas and just reflecting on other people's opinions. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Also, do not worry, I will not be making many K-drama videos. This was a one-time thing, so please stay on my channel if you like gaming videos. Actually, no, it would be kind of funny. Wait. People are gonna think that I have like trash opinions if they look at the thumbnail. Just do it randomly. Maybe everything on F tier. Wait, I can make it look like... See, that looks like a very nice... all the way on the top with the chicken nugget. I think that would be a good thumbnail. Yeah, I think this is the official list, guys. Nothing can beat the chicken nugget one. Thanks for anyone who watched the stream all the way through. You also have a problem in that case. If you watch all the way through, that's fine, because I have a problem too. So yeah, as a K-drama addict, peace out.